Hello everyone, I am Manisha. Today we discuss on the topic of measurement and scaling technique in research methodology. We have following contents. First one is introduction, second is meaning of measurement and scaling, issues in measurement, levels of measurement, and last one is classification of scaling technique. Let's start our introduction. Measurement is essential in a research process because measurement alone will help us gather some kind of conclusive data. Measurement involves assignment of numeral to characteristics pertaining to an object, event, person, etc. It means measurement is the assigned number to a characteristics of an object or event which can be easily compared with other object or events. Meaning of measurement. Measurement is the process of observing and recording the observation that are collected as part of research. The recording of the observations may be in terms of numbers or other symbols of characteristic of object according to certain prescribed rules. These observations could be qualitative or quantitative. It is difficult to measure abstract or qualitative characteristics than quantitative characteristics. It is easy to measure properties like weight, height, etc. by some standard unit of measured. But it is difficult to measure properties like motivation, honesty, customers' perception, brand loyalty, etc. Let's take an example. We can record a person marital status as 1, 2, 3, 4. Depending on the person is whether single, married, widowed or divorced. We cannot make comparison between these numbers but can be count each number. Meaning of scaling. In simple words, we can say that scaling is the procedure of measuring and assigning the objects to the numbers according to the specified rules. In other words, the process of locating the measured object on the continuum, a continuous sequence of numbers to which the objects are assigned, is called as scaling. Issues in measurement. When we start a measurement, we get some issues, and they are basically three types. First one is what is to be measured. It means we have need to measurement a specific quality or quantity of observation in research. After we have issue who is to be measured. It means what type of researcher are measured. And last one is the choice available in data collection technique. It means we have many techniques for data collection and we need to find best technique for our data collection. Levels of measurement scale. They are also known as different types of variable or four types of data. First one is nominal scale, second is ordinal scale, third is interval scale, and last one is ratio scale. And these all 4 points we are discuss in detail one by one. Nominal scale is the crudest among all measurement scales, but it is also the simplest scale. In this scale, the different scores on a measurement simply indicate different categories. The nominal scale does not express any values between variables. First of all, we need to know about where is nominal scale are used. We can see here we can say that it used to identify the attribute of an element. The nominal scale is used. Nominal stands for the name of category. Numbers are used to simplify as name for groups or classes. It is used for qualitative rather than quantitative data. Let's take an example. Numbers on the t-shirt of team players. One cannot usefully average the numbers on the back of group of players and come up with a meaningful value. The counting of members in each group is the only possible arithmetic operation when a nominal scale is employed. Ordinal scale. Ordinal scale involves the ranking of the items along the continuum of the item are classified according to whether they have more or less characteristics. It ranks objects or elements from one largest to smallest or first to last. For example, ranking of students according to scores obtained by them. In ordinal scale, in this we do not know how much is better one than other, only that is better. Ordinal scale only permit the ranking of the items from highest to lowest. Let's take an next one example. Product ranked by the consumer maybe as a 1 2 3 4. We can say that here 4 is the best and 1 is worst. Third, we have discussed on interval. In interval scale, it assumes that measurements are made in equal units. For example, gaps between the whole numbers on the scale are equal. An interval scale does not have a true zero. Example, a temperature of 0 does not mean that there is a no temperature. It is just an arbitrary 0 point. In interval scale, we can say that it does not have the capacity to measure the complete absence of trait or characteristics, but we can take ratios of intervals. In interval scale, provide more powerful measurement than ordinal scale. In interval scale, the mean can be used for arithmetic operation and standard deviation is used for measure dispersion. Let's take an example of interval scale. The difference between 1 and 2 is equal to the difference between 3 and 4. Further, the difference between 2 and 4 is the twice difference between 1 and 2. And last one is level of measurement is ratio scale. Ratio scale represent the actual amount of variables. Example, measures of physical dimensions such as height, weight, distance, etc. Similar to interval scale except that the ratio scale has a true zero value. It allows to compare different between numbers. If two measurements are in ratio scale, then we can take ratio of these measurements. The zero of this scale is absolute zero. Then measure the physical dimension of height, weight, distance are an example of a ratio scale. The multiplication and division can be used with this scale but not with the other scale. Next is we are coming on a classification of a scaling technique. Scaling technique is divided into two parts, comparative scales and non-comparative scales. And comparative scale and non-comparative scales are further divided into many parts, and we are these all parts discuss in detail one by one. First one we discuss about the comparative scales. Comparative scales involve the direct comparison of the objects. Comparative scale data must be interpreted in relative terms and have only ordinal or rank order properties. The comparative scale is further divided into four categories. First one is a paired comparison scale, rank order scale, third is constant sum scale, and last one is Q-short scale. Next one we discuss on paired comparison scale. This is a comparative scale technique in which a respondent is presented with two objects at a time and asked to select a one object according to some criteria and data obtained in ordinal in nature. Let's take an example of paired comparison scale like Coca-Cola versus Pepsi, Samsung versus Apple, Next is a comparative scale part is rank order scaling. Rank order scaling is a respondent are presented with several objects simultaneously and asked to order or rank them according to their choice. It is possible that the respondent may dislike the brand ranked 1 in a absolute sense. It is easier and fast method in comparison to the paired comparison scale. In simple words, rank order scaling, we can say that in rank order scaling, the respondent needs to rank or arrange the given object according to preference. Next one is, let's discuss about constant sum scaling. In this scale, the respondent are asked to allocate a constant sum of units such as points, rupees or chips among a set of stimulus object with respect to some criteria. And the last part of comparative scaling is Q-short scale. This is comparative scale that uses a rank order procedure to sort objects based on similarity with respect to some criteria. The important characteristics of this methodology is that it is more important to make comparison among different the response between different respondents. In simple words, we can say that Q-short scaling is a technique used for sorting the most appropriate objects out of large number of given variable. Next we have non-comparative scales. This is a next part of a scaling technique. Non-comparative scale is basically we can say that this scale is used to analyze the performance of individual product or object on different parameters. Followings are their parts which we are discuss in detail. Let's discuss first part of non-comparative scale is a continuous rating scale. Continuous rating scale is very simple and highly useful. In continuous rating scale, the respondents rate objects by placing a mark at a appropriate position on a continuous line that runs from one extreme of the criteria variable to the other. In simple words, we can say that it is a graphical rating scale where respondents are free to place the object at the position of their choice. It is done by selecting and marking a point along the vertical or horizontal line which ranges between two extreme criteria. Next is itemized rating scale. Itemized rating scale is a scale having numbers description associated with each category. The categories are ordered in terms of scale position and the respondents are required to select one of the limited number of categories that best describes the product, brand, company or product attribute being rated. In simple words, we can say that itemized rating scale is another essential technique of non-comparative scale. Here we can say that itemize is that choosing a particular category among the various given categories by the respondents, each class of briefly defined by the researchers to facilitate such a selection. And itemized is also further divided into three categories, and these three categories we are discussed in detail one by one. Let's discuss first category of itemized rating scale is a Likert scaling. It is a measurement scale with 5 response categories. The format of 5 level Likert item could be strongly disagree, disagree, neither agree or disagree, agree, strongly agree. In simple words, we can say that Likert scale. The researcher provides some statement and asks the respondents to mark their level of agreement and disagreement over the statements by selecting one of the options from the 5 given alternatives. And 5 given alternatives we are earlier discussed about these, which is the first one is a strongly disagree, then next is a disagree, third is neither agree or disagree, fourth is agree, and fifth one is a strongly agree, which is a option provided by the researcher to the respondents. Let's discuss on the second part of itemized rating scale is a semantic differential scale. It can be used to find the whether a respondent has a positive or negative attitude toward an object. It is widely used in comparing the brand, product, and company image. It has also used to develop advertising and promotion strategies and in a new product development study. Last one is a staple scale. Staple scale was originally developed to measure the direction and intensity of the attitude simultaneously. Modern version of the staple scale places a single adjective as a substitute for the semantic differential when it is difficult to create pairs of paiable adjectives. In conclusion, we can say that it facilitates product development and benchmarking through rigorous marketing research. Thank you guys for listening.